All right, let's try that again. What's up, guys? Welcome to GooTalks number 3. I am your host, gootecks. It is Saturday evening, September 1st, and I thought it'd be nice to hang out with you guys for a bit. Who got that bow? You are the highlight of my night. All right. So, what can we talk about today? You know, yesterday we spent a lot of time giving relationship advice to high schoolers and talking a little bit about, you know, career paths in college. But I want to, you know, for those of you guys that are here in the chat room, those of you guys that are in the chat room, let's see, people want to talk about women, want to talk about friend zones, want to talk about fisting, want to talk about what I'm drinking. Slime, tequila, and water. Waiting for my buddy La Muerte to show up, and then we're going to head out. We always talk about me, Trapcom. This show is only talking about gootecks. Flaming hot Cheetos. No, we cannot. Docfish wants to know, gootecks, which fighting game do I play to impress girls? Well, I guess there's two ways to answer that. The first way is to say there is no fighting game you could possibly play to impress girls. The second answer is whichever fighting game has the most money and the most people that give a shit at one time. For example, you know, Tekken Tag 2 is coming out. And if you believe their marketing, then you know that Snoop Dogg is very excited about this game and is promoting it. And maybe because Snoop Dogg is promoting it, there will be a ton of girls that play Tekken Tag 2. So maybe that could be good to get them into it. Or alternatively, if you believe, you know, the Persona guys, T-Lock and Bond, these guys say that there are anime girls that like this, that, you know, that like Persona. So okay, maybe Persona has an alternative way that you can get them into it, which is that Persona has an established audience already because it was already a Japanese RPG. So maybe if you were good at Persona, you could impress girls that liked the other Persona games. For example, I have somebody very close to me that is very into Persona, and when I told this person that I was going to be doing a lot of Persona content, she was so excited because she loves the series. I don't think she realized how much reading there was going to be involved in Persona 4 Arena, but she was still excited that I was going to be playing it, even though I didn't know anything about the series. So, yes, Phoenix Faction, basically play Persona if you're going to go to a weeaboo convention. Yes, exactly. Eddie2791 wants to know, why would you play a fighting game to impress a girl? Well, I can tell you that in my mind, girls like, respect, and appreciate somebody who is the best at anything. It doesn't matter what that anything is. It could be fighting games, it could be underwater basket weaving, it could be, you know, best accountant in your department. Girls want to know that the person they are investing their time and possibly their biological time, meaning have a baby with, that somebody is a leader amongst men. So what better way to prove that than by being the best at a fighting game. What more could you ask for as a woman? Liquid Spade wants to know, Gootex, 2 years ago this girl seemed to show interest in me, but I didn't see anything in her yet, so I put her in the friend zone. What can I do now that I would like to have a relationship with her? It's difficult because clearly if you put her in the friend zone, she's not that hot, which leads me to believe that if you want a relationship with her now, it's because either she's gotten hotter or your relationship options have gotten narrower due to some factor, I'm not really quite sure what. But it would seem like if you wanted to make a move now, you would have to kind of like suss out her situation, right? Is she seeing somebody else? Are you going to have to steal her from somebody else? But chances are, if she was into you at the get-go, and then you were like, nah, lady, no dice, then when you come back to her, you're going to have to work extra hard. And even then, you know, you may have to put her on a pedestal, and then, you know, then she's going to feel like she's in control. So you might as well, maybe you maybe blew it. You know, you might have to go your separate ways for quite a long time, like a year or a couple of years, several years or something, to kind of clear the slate, you know, and then you come back later and you're both different people, but maybe you still have that physical attraction, because hopefully she's hotter now. I would find it very hard to believe that she just became a more amazing person than she was a couple years ago. I mean, really, come on. Right? Right, guys? MYK Galvez, Mike Galvez wants to know, how would you approach a girl while she's working? Well, what's interesting about approaching a girl while she's working is that she is basically forced to be nice to you because she is on the clock. So you almost have an advantage. So I would try to set something up for after she gets off of work, but you have to make it very casual. You know, like if she works at a mall or something, she's gotta, I mean, you gotta say, hey, like, why don't we get a smoothie at the food court after you get off of work or something? Something like that. Something where she's still gonna be able to go to her car afterwards without you following her, but yet something where you can, you know, sit down and chat it out with her for a while. And I would say if it's a place that you frequent often, if you know that you're going there, you know, okay, there's two ways to look at it. I wouldn't say that you should wait to, you know, try to ask her out. But if you have already waited, you know, you've seen her there a couple times, then it doesn't necessarily work to your disadvantage. You can kind of just say, you can kind of just start being playful and flirty with her. And it should be pretty straightforward to get her to hang out after work. You know, hopefully it's not the beginning of her shift, but even it is, you know, you can tell that you're going to meet up with her later. Let's see. Neuradical says, I need help, Gootex. I think I'm friend zoning myself. Help! Neuradical, what's going on? Okay, in the meantime, Damie904 says, Gootecks, I go to an engineering school, so there's not that many women on campus. Where do you think I could go to try and pick up women? Well, Damie904. The first thing that I would do is start with the girls that go to your engineering school. Just because the girls that are there aren't attractive, because, hey, let's face it, there may not be that many attractive engineers out there, doesn't mean that she doesn't have attractive friends. So I would start with those girls and try to make friends with them. You can be fun and flirty and whatever. Get them to like you as a person. Because I'm certain that they have friends who are probably more attractive than them. And, you know, if you friend zone them, you know, maybe you can hook them up with some of your friends, and then by the law of karma and balance in the universe, they will have no choice but to reciprocate and hook you up with their friends. So this is not like a, you know, it's Saturday night, like, oh, we're going to go get laid tonight. No, this is not like that. This is really more of one of those long-term plans that can get you laid over the long run. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it would be to, you know, use engineering school. I mean, you know, hey, like, you're going to be an engineer. You're going to be making legitimate middle to upper class first world money. That's pretty good, you know? Girls like a guy that has future prospects. So that should be attractive in and of itself. You should be able to go to a girl, and when it comes up, because they will ask you what you do, you say, baby, I'm going to engineering school. I'm going to be an engineer. You see all of this, you know, I'm going to be a civil engineer or an electrical engineer. I got, you know, I got those man skills. You know, girls can appreciate that. Okay, here we go. New Radical says, we know each other from work and we started chatting more often. I've been opening up to her more, but she only seems to be interested in me on a friend level. New Radical. If she's only interested in you on a friend level, that means that you've been chatting with her on a friend level rather than trying to create attraction and really kind of go after. Oh, I'm back. Really create attraction on a sexual level. So I would say that you have to make the moves on her, you know, like, but the thing is, you might already be in the friend zone, New Radical. Why didn't you just listen earlier in the week when I talked about not getting into the friend zone? There may still be time, but now you're risking it, you know? But I still feel like, hey, look, if you have a good open relationship with her and you communicate often and you trust her or whatever, unfortunately, it may become a little bit awkward at work, but hey, she's got to deal with it if you make the move and you just say, hey, look, I'm into you, or better yet, don't say anything and just try to like make the move, although that could make things even more awkward. I don't know, man. Maybe what you can do is you can just say, hey, look, baby. Maybe you can just say, maybe you can just be friends. All right, sorry about that. Is that better? Is that better? That's got to be better, right? Sorry, the batteries died on the other lavalier. Okay, so what I was saying before was that maybe you can just make friends with her and then she can introduce you to all her hot girlfriends, right? Protect Lil B says, Gootex, my wife is getting overweight. What's the best way to force her to lose weight or stop going out with me in public? Okay, this is a situation that I've encountered before. When your girl starts to put on a few pounds, chances are you have also started to put on a few pounds. So it's not fair to her to say, hey baby, why don't you eat less of those donuts and do more of this cardio? Why don't you say, hey, I'm going to the gym. Do you want to come with? I'm gonna, I'm gonna do some weights, I'm gonna build some muscle, and I'm gonna run the fat off of my body on this treadmill. Are you in or are you out? Chances are she's noticed that she's put on a few pounds too, right? So she'll be, all right. She'll be like, okay, if you're consistent with it, then she'll go along with it. And if she's your wife, maybe she's cooking for you, you tell her, look, woman, I'm not going to be eating this crap anymore. Not like that, but you say, look, I'm trying to make a change for the better of myself. I'm trying to lose this weight. I'm going to get in shape. Can you support me by cooking healthier meals? And you kind of like get her invested and say, look, could you make this? More protein, more green veggies, less fried food, things like that. And if you do that, then she will be like, okay, well, first of all, now she's not going to get any fatter because now she's eating healthier because you're making her cook like that. And second, if you're consistent, then she will feel obligated to reciprocate. So really, the change has to come from within you. It's not fair for you to say, hey, you need to lose weight when you probably both need to lose a few pounds, right? So I would say that if you can do that, then the law of karma and balance in the universe will dictate that she has to do the same. So I would try that. And the other thing is too, even if you're successful with it, imagine being successful with it and then you're just ripped, right? You're so good looking now. You've lost so much fat and you're just pure muscle now, right? Now, if she stays fat, I don't think there's anybody out there that would blame you for getting rid of her if she wanted to stay fat and you were like, cut. Because I find that when you're in a relationship, you're basically the inverse of your partner. And if there starts to become a disparity between the partner's physical levels in terms of attractiveness or financial levels in terms of one person is making way more than the other person now, that tends to create a like a, what do you call it? Like a fissure or like a gap in between the two people. So if your physical attractiveness goes way up and hers doesn't follow suit, then you're going to be able to get more attractive girls just because you yourself are more attractive and you will deserve better. You'll have more confidence and it'll just be easier to just go after more attractive women than your current chubby wife. So there you have it. The best thing to do is to improve yourself, and then she'll follow suit. Disparity, yes, that was the word. SM Jones wants to know, Gootex, what do you think about skinny jeans? baby, if you are not fat and you think you can pull them off, pull them off. Look at these, right? Hmm? I mean, they're, well, I don't know if they're technically jeans, but I mean, they work. They work. And before I bought these, let me tell you guys, these are literally the tightest pants I've ever owned, but I get complimented on them when I wear them. So I know that I made the right choice. Oh, speaking of plunder, no, actually, I didn't get them from Plunder. I got them from H&M. H&M, such a great source. There was a guy on Twitter who wanted my my Plunder referral link so that he could give me credit for when he signs up. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this link and paste it in the chat room and make a bit.ly link, and I'm going to put that on, oh gosh. No way that's already a bit.ly link. I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe that. There's no way. No way. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right. Here, use this. Use this link. And I'm going to put this so I can buy some new stuff. Here. Gonna make this like this. There we go. All right, much better. Anyways, when you sign up for Plunder, you get like $10 when you refer somebody or whatever. Anyways, let's see, where were we? EMP Gootecks wants to know, gootecks, does being a virgin matter? Absolutely. But it depends on how old you are. If you are in high school, doesn't matter. It's okay to be a virgin, no problem. If you are in college, it's okay to be a virgin for the first couple years. Once the first couple of years are over and you're still a virgin, now you're going to be running into problems. At some point, there's like a bell-shaped curve almost. Anywhere in this bell-shaped curve, you are okay to lose your virginity. Anywhere that's on the tail end or the beginning or the tail end of the bell-shaped curve, now you're going to run into some problems. For example, let's say that the bell-shaped curve for guys starts at, like, let's say, I don't know, like 15, 16, you know, and then boom, like here's like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And now at the tail end, oh man, if you are still a virgin as a guy past the age of 25, 26, now things are getting a little weird, you know, like, why? Is it a religious thing? Is it a personality thing? What is the deal? Why is this guy still a virgin? What happens is, as you become older and you still haven't lost your virginity, you start to develop some sort of mental crutch. And girls know, I mean, dude, it's tough. I can only imagine. I have a friend, I think this dude is still a virgin. Dude is like 30 years old. I've known him for a long time. And he's built up such a mental block in his mind that I'm just like, dude, you just need to do it already. Ghetto Asian wants to know, yo Gooey, I just want to know if you got any tips to pick up girls because I've been trying to get girls, but none of them are ever interested. Well, Ghetto Asian, I would say, first of all, if you're Asian, I would try to go to Asian clubs. For example, in LA, there's Asian night at the Belasco, there's Asian night at Exchange LA, there's Asian night at Busby's, there's Asian night at Icon across the street from the Staples Center. Go where the Asian girls are, it'll probably be easier. But let's say you don't live anywhere like that and you're not into Asian girls anyways. You have to keep on going and refining your approach. Women appreciate and respect a guy with confidence. I find it hard to believe that if you were confident in your approach and you approached enough women, I mean, it's a numbers game, bro. Come on, Ghetto Asian. If you approach 100 girls and have a 10% success rate of getting a phone number, that means that you have 10 phone numbers. One of them you're gonna text, and even though you fuck it up because you got terrible text game and you're saying all the wrong things, one of them will be like, oh, whatever, this guy's cute, or this guy's harmless, or this guy is actually really cool, he's just a little awkward, it doesn't matter to me. She will say, hey, it's okay. Or maybe, you just get lucky. It's just a numbers game, man. So chances are you're not going to need to approach 100 women. But if you did approach 100 women, you would get better with it over time. Pro Wannabe says, are you serious, Gootecks? You stopped playing AE for this? Listen, Pro Wannabe. I stopped playing AE because there was nothing for me in AE. You, on the other hand, are still sitting here watching me. So either sit back and relax or get the fuck out. Hey, Dr. Gootecks, I live in a small room in a really crappy house in a town where there's nothing to do. Where am I supposed to take girls when we go out? That's a great question. I would suggest that rather than thinking, well, hey, every place that I've been to, and I've been to cool places, awful places, there's always some redeeming place. There's got to be some kind of view or some sort of quiet place or some sort of empty field or something. You have to explore these places and find them so that you can take the girls there and have a nice time with them so that you seem like, oh wow, I'm sure she knows all the other guys in the town because the town is very small, right? But you knew the places. So you have to make the effort. Look on Yelp, right? There's got to be every town has a cool place. And if not, then that should be motivation or inspiration for you to step your shit up and get the fuck out. Get yourself to New York, California, Seattle, Miami, Chicago. Just go. What is holding you back if you live in such a terrible place? EMP Saltforce says, Dr. Hobotex, I've been crushing on this girl at the gym for like 3 months now, but I get nervous whenever she talks to me. Oh, and by the way, she's a cashier girl, not a random girl working there. I feel like she's been giving me mixed signals / flirting with me. Any advice? If you feel like she's flirting with you, by golly, she must be flirting with you. Why else would you be getting that vibe? We as humans have a... How can I put this? Like, we have instincts and we have perception. You could say that we're psychic or whatever, but some people will say that you're crazy for thinking these things, but I think it's fact. To me, the ideas or impressions that pop into my mind when I'm interacting with somebody don't come from nowhere. These are not like imagined thoughts. To me, you pick up the signals of the people that you're interacting with. Sometimes they're nonverbal, such as body language. Other times, they're just like mind signals sent from their brain. They're just put out there, and you just pull them in with your brain. And we can debate all day about whether this is true or not, but the fact is, if you believe that it is true, and you go with your gut, you will never be led astray. So if you think that she's flirting with you, yeah, she probably is. So what you have to do is smile, be confident, and Ian is back. But there's nobody with Ian. Oh, okay. Smile, be confident, and set up a time to hang out with her. Just be like, hey, do you want to hang out sometime? What time do you get off of work? Oh, it's 9:15. You get off at 11 o'clock. Do you want to get a bite to eat? Do you want to go... Do you want to get some coffee? Do you want to get a drink? Think about it. eSafe wants to know, Dr. Gootecks, how do I approach a girl even though she probably doesn't share any of my interests? I like fighting games and comic books, and I doubt that many girls are into that. Who cares? You like fighting games and comic books. That's awesome. Now, when you get into a relationship with her, you never have to worry about her crowding your space and her being overly attached girlfriend that's like, hey, what are you doing? Do you want to go play some fighting games? You want to read some comic books? This is a good thing. Why would you want a girl that's into those things? She doesn't need to be into those things. All she has to do is really respect that you're into those things. So don't worry about it. Who cares? Just ask her out. Chances are she's not going to be into those things. But hey, there must be, if you're attracted to her for a reason other than her looks, then there must be something that she's into whose interests you would probably also enjoy. So think of fighting games and comic books as like your sanctuary. And the two of you will have, the two of you will start to have interests that you have, that you share together. Gojiro120 says, Gootecks, do chicks really like guys with full beards? Also, is it a lie to think that a hot girl can like a fat girl? Absolutely not. Hot girls girls in general don't give a shit about what you look like. You know how 80 to 90% of the reason that you like a girl is because she's hot? 80 to 90% of the reason that she likes you has nothing to do with whether or not you're hot. It's literally the inverse. She cares 10 to 20% what you look like. If you have all of your limbs and, you know, relatively, if you have all of your limbs, you're in great shape. It doesn't matter. What matters are your social status, your your ability to be a leader amongst men, which means you are of high social value, your income or your aspirations of large income. These are the things that matter, not how much you weigh or what you look like. If you have the other things together, it doesn't matter what you look like. But this is the caveat, right? If you're a fat guy, chances are, I'm just saying, if you had every other part of your life in control but you were still fat, it'd be okay. But usually, if you're fat, if you're like an overweight guy, there probably are other areas of your life that could be improved. Maybe you could be making more money. Maybe you could be more ambitious. Maybe you could have a higher social standing amongst your peers. So don't think of your overweightness as a crutch. That could just be like the most obvious symptom of the other issues in your life that you're not confronting. Deodore says, "Hey Gootecks, depending on how stacked your wallet is, what are good ideas to take for places to take girls on dates on a low budget to the fanciest way you can imagine to give her the best time of her life?" Look, having a good time with a girl has nothing to do with how much money you're making, and it has everything to do with how creative you are in showing her a good time. You can, depending on the girl, you can just say, "Hey, come over and play video games. Hey, come over and watch a movie. Hey, let's go hang out at the fucking dog park. Hey," or you could say, "Hey, let's go get a drink. Hey, I know this really great restaurant that I'm going to take you to." But the problem is when you're basing it on spending the money at the beginning, you're creating this sort of track record, or you're creating like a pattern. So it's really more, think of it like an exercise. Like, what can you do? Can you go to a museum? Hey, how expensive are museums? You got a B of A account? Museums aren't expensive at all, right? Owl Knight says, "How do I talk to girls at the gym? They all have headphones on." It's difficult, right? I guess if they all have headphones on, then you got to start with body language. Because even if they have headphones on, they still got their eyeballs open. So you may have to, gosh, it just depends. Like, you're going to have to make eye contact and smile first. If you make eye contact and smile and they return your eye contact and smile, then when you start talking with them, they'll take their earphones off. But you have to do the body language thing first. Brandaman9 wants to know, "Gootecks, what is the best way to lose weight? I want to lose 120 pounds in a year." Great question. Good for you for trying to lose 120 pounds in a year. I would say, dial it back to 100 and you could totally do it. Losing more than a pound or two a week, I would say, in my opinion, is not healthy, but I'm not, a fitness expert or anything. This is how you lose weight. You reduce the amount of calories that you take in and increase the amount of exercise that you do. Also, you must lift weights, because when you build muscle, you are able to burn the fat faster. And if you can burn the fat faster, everything will be a lot better. So you have to focus on lifting weights to build muscle, which also means adjusting your diet to have more protein, because the only way that you're going to be able to build muscle is if you're eating an adequate amount of protein, which is probably more protein than you're eating now. So you stop eating the fatty, sugary foods all the time, fried foods, junk food, fast food. Fuck all of that. Just forget it. focus on eating healthy, reducing the amount of calories that you're taking in, building muscle through lifting weights, as well as doing your cardio. And you can lose, look, there's basically 3,500 calories in 1 pound. If you were to reduce your intake, your food intake by 250 calories, as well as do 250 calories worth of exercise, you would lose 1 pound per week. That is science. So do it. What about alcohol? EMP Hentai wants to know, what about alcohol? There's hella calories in alcohol, so you got to take it easy. We all have to take it easy on the alcohol. GoBot Gabe says, Gootex, I bought my friend who is a girl a $200 watch. The problem is she has a boyfriend. Will she like me eventually? Absolutely not. You put yourself in the fucking friend zone. You bought her a watch, an expensive ass watch that she didn't deserve. You thought that you could buy her love. Look, man, if you wanted to spend that $200, why wouldn't you go get a hooker? At least you would have gotten a buck. NRG Solara says, I'm really loving the new Gootex. This is the Gootex that I've always been, baby. EMP Goosex says, what is my workout routine? Okay. This is what I do. And I'm not, and look at me, all right? I don't have like super muscles or anything, but I have made significant progress. I have before and after pictures that will never be released to the public, but trust me, consistency pays off. What I do is I wake up, I spend about half an hour on Facebook and Twitter and Reddit, and then I get my ass to the gym. And then I'll do, let's see, biceps, calves. Oh, are we back? No signal. Biceps, calves, and let's say shoulders. Biceps, calves, and shoulders. I'll do. You're supposed to do between 8 to 12 reps of each different muscle group. So I'll do 8 to 12 reps of curls, 8 to 12 reps of hammer curls. I'll get on the calves machine and then do calf raises, 8 to 12 reps, and then 8 to 12 reps on the squats machine, and then 8 to 12 reps of shoulders. And then after that, I do 45 minutes of cardio. Realistically, that's between an hour and 15 and an hour and a half at the gym. And then I'll, the next day is like back and abs and legs, and then the last day is whatever the last one is. So I do that, and then I come upstairs and I make a green smoothie and I add protein powder, and then I start my day. That's what I do. Now like I said, I'm not a trainer. I'm sure there's better ways to do it. That's what I do. I've seen significant progress. I'm still relatively skinny. I wish I had more muscle on me, but I haven't quite gotten to the point where I'm eating more or eating more protein and whatever. Daruku says you don't eat breakfast? No, my green smoothie is my breakfast because I'll put in a handful of spinach from the farmer's market, and then a leaf or two of kale or dragon kale, which is the kaliest of kale. And then I'll put in like a handful of strawberries, put in a cup of almond milk, add blueberries, put in a tray of ice, boom, put it in the blender, and then I'm good. And then after I drink it, it's like a cup, maybe 2 cups worth. After I drink it, I'm basically full, and I'm good for like 2 hours. Jaganogun says, Gootecks, thanks for doing these. A little off topic. What does the cross-counter editing team consist of, if there even is one? Do you have people dedicated to churning out footage, or is it more like television where you need to be able to write, shoot, and edit by yourself? At the beginning, you're going to need to do everything yourself because you don't have... Oh, Jesus, fuck. You're going to have to do everything yourself, because you're probably not going to have somebody to help you. If you have somebody to help you, like an editor, and all you have to do is sit there and be in front of the camera and produce and write and whatnot, and you have somebody else, great. Chances are, when you start out, it's just going to be you. It was me for the longest time. When I was doing gootecks.com in 2008, 2009, and the beginning of 2010, it was just me. I've gone through several editors, Cami, Steve, and now Ian. Now Ian handles all of our editing, but when we have more projects, then we need to get more editors. Apeta says, how do you find out if a girl has a boyfriend? Who cares if she has a boyfriend? If she has a boyfriend, what'll happen is when you make a move on her, she'll be like, I have a boyfriend. And then you say, cool, that'll give you something to do when I'm not around. Racer3014 says, how do you get with a girl that speaks a different language? Great question. The first thing that you do is focus on body language. If you can get your body language on point and in sync with hers, your spoken language almost doesn't matter. But of course, hey, the best thing to do is to have her teach you her language. You trade languages. She teaches you how to say hello. You teach her how to say hello. You tell her to teach you how to say, where's the bathroom? You tell her how to say, where's the bathroom? She tells you how to say, I want to fuck. You tell her how to say, I want to fuck. That is how you build a relationship with somebody who doesn't speak the same language. EMP Hentai says, what do you mean by body language? Okay. This is a topic that I'm not an expert at, but if you listen to some Tony Robbins or maybe Eben Pagan or David D'Angelo, same guy, they probably have lots of good information on body language. But it's basically like, you have to be able to pick up the signs. Girls have body language signs that they're into. Maybe they're playing with their hair, maybe they like flip their hair, maybe it's a certain way that they stand or a certain way that they are crossing their legs or facing their body towards you. These are the things that you have to observe and be conscious of when you're dealing with them. King of UK9 Gootecks, what do you do the first time you meet up with a girl who you know first online? I'm 16, if that makes a difference. If you're meeting a girl that you've only know online, I hope you've talked, you know, first you start messaging on Facebook or in a chat room or whatever, and now you're talking on Skype. You have to be talking on Skype first, because if you're talking on Skype, then you can see her and hear her voice. Hopefully you have a good headset. Once you finally meet in person, it should be just like it was when it was online, because you've been seeing and interacting with each other. You should have spent hours online together and before you met up in person. But even when you meet in person, it's like sometimes you just have to address the awkwardness. It's really awkward seeing you in person. I can't believe that you're not on my computer screen right now and you're actually here. That might put her at ease. You know, she may be feeling the same things. Why wouldn't she? So, I mean, what would you do? You should already have the plans when you're hanging out with her and talking with her on Skype. East SRK says, Gootecks, I finished The Alchemist. Any good recommendations on books? Hashtag Gootecks Book Club. The Alchemist is a classic. I've been meaning to check out the new Paulo Coelho book that he put out not too long ago called, what was it called, Stream Monsters? You tell me. It's called Aleph. I don't know what it's about, but I would try that. I would check that out. What other good books, if you liked The Alchemist? I'm just going to go off of books off the top of my head. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Free by Chris Anderson. Oh, you know what else is really good? Russell Simmons has 2 excellent books. The first is called Do You? Like, do you, bro? Do you? The second is called Super Rich. Both of them, I really got a lot out of. Zero Smoke says, hey Gootecks, do you need a studio to do cross-counter live talk show? No, baby, we could do it right here if we wanted to. Look, see? I can... There we go. Let's see. Oh my God, It's Light says, Gootecks, here's one. There's this girl at my college who's been watching / looking at me a lot since last semester. Should I say screw it and take a chance? I'm not really one to just go up to someone and go for it, so I haven't done anything yet. We haven't talked or anything before, so that's why it's kind of on the edge. Trust me, bro, if she is scoping you out still after half a year or whatever at school, if she's still looking at you, she wants you to approach her. This is how it works. Girls, men are the pursuer, women are the pursuee. If she's sitting there looking at you in the bar or in class or at work or wherever, and she's just looking at you like over and over, and she like looks and she's like playing with her hair, look, and she's like, She wants you to approach her. She will not approach you. Only the most aggressive of women will approach you. When I was younger, I was so scared of being rejected because I was scarred from an early age about telling girls that I was into them. So I was too scared. So I would just let them come to me. So obviously, sometimes, I got lucky, and realistically, like, a lot of the girls that I had that way were, very high quality girls. But it is your job as a man to go and approach them. If she's looking at you a couple of times from across the room, she wants you to go up and talk to her. I promise you, if you read her body language and you can see that she's looking at you, if you go and approach, she will be friendly, guaranteed. It's so much harder to approach a girl that isn't giving you those signals compared to one that is. If you haven't gotten any signals from a girl and you go up to her and you talk to her, she's going to be like, whoa, first of all, is this guy a serial killer? I can't really tell. Is he a rapist? Maybe. You have to establish that you're not a serial killer. You're not a rapist. And only then can you start to demonstrate that you are of high value. Only then. But if she's looking at you and she's been like, she wants you to approach. C01180808OY, call boy, whatever. Hey, but gootecks, what if I don't know what to say once I approach her? Sad face. ... All you have to do is say hello. If she's giving you the signals, looking at you over and over, all you have to do is say hello. Hey, what's up? How are you? And don't say anything after that. You don't have to say anything after that. Just say hello. Chances are, if she was giving you the looks, you'll be surprised to know that she'll start talking to you. She'll ask you, oh, my night was pretty good. How's your night? Where did you come from? Did you come here a lot? What's your name? What do you do? Where are you from? But only after you went and approached because you saw that she was giving you the signals. Call boy. Let's see. JC17580. Yo, Dr. Gootecks, sort of related to a previous question. There's this girl I've been thinking of, but I'm worried we won't have enough in common to really work out. What do you think? Who cares if you have something in common? You know what you need to have in common? You need to have sexual chemistry. You need to have that fire between you guys. That's what you need to have. You don't need to worry, she likes comic books, I like comic books. That shit doesn't matter. In fact, it can be too much of a good thing. You guys have too much in common. You guys hang out all the time, you get sick of each other, you start to become the same person. I've been there. It's difficult. So who cares? Just go for it. It doesn't matter. How much in common could you possibly have with her? Or how much not in common could you possibly have with her? You have 99% the same DNA. You probably live in the same city, right? Same zip code, same experience growing up. You went to the same high school, you go to the same college. How different could you be, right? All of the other things are really just trivialities, right? What's important is the sexual chemistry, mutual respect for each other, and kind of like the worldview. Does she think Mitt Romney will be a great president? And you're like, what? Woman, Barack Obama is way better. Those are the things that kind of matter more than whether she's into fighting games or comic books or movies or whatever. That shit doesn't matter. L2 Strong says, Gootecks, what do people mean by invest my money instead of put it in a bank? What exactly am I investing it in? Well, L2 Strong, I am not a financial planner or a financial advisor. But what I do know is that inflation is a terrible thing that will basically rot away the money in the bank. For example, you can look at the yearly inflation rate. Like let's say 2011 inflation. I'm just going to type that into Google. And we'll see what shows up. Historical inflation rates 1914 to 2012. Okay. All I see is a big table of inflation. 1.4, 3.6, blah, blah, blah. What this means is that, let's say the inflation rate is 3%. But the interest rate that you're getting at the bank is 1%. That means that if you just put all your money in the bank at 1% interest, but there's 3% inflation, that means you're losing 2% of your interest, 2% of your money to inflation every year. That means that your money is basically rotting away sitting in a savings account. So what it means to invest your money is that you're investing in a stock or a bond or a business or real estate or your own business or whatever to achieve an interest rate higher than inflation. For example, year over year, the stock market, or rather index funds, have averaged whatever, like 8, 10, 12%, some shit like that. That would mean that if you put money in an index fund over a long period of time, that it will grow, let's say at 10%, but you're losing 3% to inflation for a net gain of 7%, which is way better than what you would get getting that 1% at the bank. So that's what it means to invest your money. Of course, past performance is not indicative of future results, but that's the basic idea. Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. Gosh, we have such heavy topics here tonight, right? What is Super Champs Live? Is that the Brazilian tournament? Oh, it must be. All right, let's see, what else do we have? Okay, call boy. Okay, serious question. If I want a degree in college, but I'm not dedicated as much as I should be, what should I do? I want to go to school, but after being in it for so long, I'm stressed and exhausted and really just sick of it. How did your college career go, gootecks? This is what it comes down to. You are clearly not in the right major. Maybe you're in accounting, but you need to be in liberal arts. Maybe you're in biochem, but you need to be in electrical engineering. It doesn't matter. All you got to do is look at the most... Okay, here's another way to choose your major. Which major has the most attractive girls in it, huh? Is it engineering? Probably not. Is it psychology? Maybe. You could do it like that, or you could just say, hey, what is most interesting to me? Don't think about the money. When I was in high school, there was an article that was published in the LA Times about how computer information systems graduates that graduated from UC Irvine were making $80,000 a year, whereas the graduates from Cal Poly Pomona were making $60,000 a year. So what did I do? I applied to UCI, and you know what UCI said? They said, fuck you, gootecks. You don't belong here. You're not smart enough. Your grades are not good enough. You are not welcome here at the University of Civics and Integras, the University of Chinese Immigrants. You need to get your ass to a state school. Go to Cal Poly, see how you like it there. So what did I do? I said, all right, fine. I went to Cal Poly. And you know what happened? I didn't make anything after college because I didn't go into computer information systems, so it didn't matter. It didn't matter if I went to UCI because I went to made $80,000 because I went to gotten a job in computer information systems afterwards. Or maybe I would have, and then we wouldn't be sitting here talking today. But I promise you, I would much rather be doing this than working some shitty information systems job because I went and got a degree at shitty UCI. Fuck that. So I would suggest that you look at what it is that you're really interested in doing. Maybe there's so many different interesting majors now. I mean, maybe you could find in a major in gaming or social media or web development, or it's like, who knows, who cares? It doesn't matter. Do something interesting that you find fulfilling. That's where it's at. Culinary school, yeah, Rymander. Culinary school is dope. Man, why aren't there more people out there trying to make good food so I can eat it? Do something productive. Do something that you believe in. These are the things that are important. My college career consisted of going to a lot of classes for shit that I already knew. Motherfuckers trying to teach me Dreamweaver? Dreamweaver! What am I going to do with Dreamweaver? Nothing. I can't do anything with Dreamweaver now. Try to teach me my SQL, not even SQL, SQL Server. What do you do with SQL Server? Tell me. That shit doesn't matter. The best classes that I took were the ones that weren't in my major. Digital photography, aka Photoshop, networks and social capital, aka how to build relationships and do business with people, audio production, I did recording, I took all these music business classes which helped so much with understanding royalties and the business aspect of not just music but also gaming. Gosh, information systems. What did I do? I just played Third Strike. Just fuck class. Oh, I got class? Fuck class. I'm gonna go play Third Strike at the arcade. And look where it got me. Wah, wah. Did I lose you guys? Everybody stopped typing. What happened? Oh. Is that it? Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Well, I guess that's a sign. Maybe I'll just hit refresh and we'll see what shows up, if anything. Otherwise, this is a pretty good sign for the universe that it's time to go. Oh man, Ian, where did the food go? Twitch chat room is refreshing. Anyways, what's going on this week? Oh, okay. All right, now it's working. L nitrogen, similar topic. How do you deal with a lack of motivation? I have no will to do anything other than sit there and play LOL or Street Fighter. I enjoy my university course, but I feel physically tired when thinking about doing the work. I've had a job full time, but fuck that for a while. Well, look, L nitrogen. There are plenty of people out there. All they do is sit there and play games. They play LOL, they play Street Fighter, just sit there and stream. If all I did was play LOL, I would have a much larger audience. You guys know that, right? Instead of there being 400 people watching, there'd be 4,000 people because everybody likes playing League of Legends. So if I was a star League of Legends player and I was so good and I was owning everybody with whatever they do in League of Legends, I would upgrade my shit and make sure that I could stream and get a little webcam and have that in the corner so that people could watch me play LOL all day, every day, and I would just grind it out, and I would just be the best LOL player ever. And I would stream and play LOL and beat everybody, and then I would get a Twitch partnership or YouTube or whatever. Who cares? You don't need a full-time job. Your major sucks. University sucks. Whatever. Who cares? Play LOL, man. Come on. Step it up. Just play LOL. Oh man, I wish I could just sit around and play LOL. How much fun would it be to just sit and play the most popular game in the world right now is LOL. Man, how nice would that be? Why don't you make some videos, do something productive, show other people how to play LOL. As far as I can tell, everything that everybody's told me, there is no good LOL training content. If I want to go learn how to play LOL tomorrow, where do I start? Create a course, show other people how to play LOL, do something interesting with LOL, make a LOL blog, a LOL podcast, a LOL stream, a LOL training video, a LOL DVD, a LOL one-on-one training course, start training people, do something productive around LOL. Come on, tell Riot, hey Riot, look what I'm doing, baby. But no, you just want, oh, I'm so unmotivated, all I do is play LOL and Street Fighter. Life is so hard. All I do is play LOL and Street Fighter. Come on, man. Just do it. LOL is so easy. I feel like if I would have taken the same steps that I took in Street Fighter in anything else that was more popular, StarCraft 2, LOL, oh my God, it'd be so much easier, but I'm trapped. I'm trapped in fighting games. You don't understand? I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Nobody gives a shit about Street Fighter. Newsflash, nobody cares. How do people care about something like LOL and StarCraft and they don't give a shit about Street Fighter? I don't understand, but that's reality, and I have to deal with that. So if I were you and I was really good at LOL and spent all my time, I would try to take what did gootecks do in Street Fighter that worked so well and got him to where he's at, and how can I apply that to LOL? What is the gootecks formula? Create and deliver value to the masses and monetize. Create content, do events, do streams. Come on. God. Ugh. So frustrating. Yes, that is the cross-counter formula. Create and deliver value to your audience. It's very simple. getting late. Zuku1 Gootecks, personal question. What's your type of woman looking wise? The hot ones. I don't discriminate. My dick is not racist. Docfish, thank you for being, you guys will be my date tonight. Gootecks, thank you guys for spending some of your Saturday here with me on the interwebs. Bandwagon loser. Gootecks says there are a lot of stuff to do in San Diego nightlife wise. Baby, tomorrow and tonight, if you were in, let me tell you where I would be if I was in San Diego. Let me tell you. Let me show you. Nope. Here it is. Here we go. San Diego. Where are we? Damn it. Here it is. Here it is. Tramps like us. Whoops. Whoops. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. Sorry. Sorry. There, I know there's a site here. Here we go. This is exactly where I would be if I lived in San Diego tonight and tomorrow night. LED Festival. LED presents Tramps Like Us, Saturday, September 1st. Flux Pavilion, Jack Beats, Moby DJ set, Thomas Gold, Kazette, Dirty Loud, Bear Noise, and Dior. I don't know who that is. Tomorrow, Rusko, Datzik, Wolfgang, Gartner, Nicky Romero, Tommy Trash, Sandro Silva, Zomboy, and Popesca. I have no idea who the last half of that list is, but I would tell you that is where I would be at. So if you're in San Diego, that is where you should be. PRC 805, Gootecks, I'm going to Japan for my honeymoon. Any suggestions? Yes! Eat ramen every day. All the ramen is great. I've never had a bad bowl of ramen. You know, I've actually never had a bad meal in Japan. I love Japan, man. Japanese people are so nice. Their food is so good. Society runs like an well-oiled machine. The trains run on time. It's crazy. It's crazy. Japanese curry. I love Japanese curry. Japanese Win47 says Japanese food is as expensive as diamond something or other. Untrue. False. Japanese food is extremely affordable. You can, the thing about Japanese food, no tax, no tip. $6 meal means a $6 meal, man. Come on. Come on. Freelance Surgeon says, my black friend went to Japan. He said it was the worst time of his life. Either your black friend doesn't know anything about life or he is too short or something. All I know is black dudes clean up in Japan. Japanese girls love black guys. They love black guys. Tell your Japanese friend he's got to go over there and advertise his stereotypically large penis, and he will do much better. Aaron Rogers says, Gootecks, do you fucks with house music? I love house music. If you guys got house music, mixes, artists, suggestions, paste them at Reply Me on Twitter. While you're at it, please click the heart button on Twitch. Follow this channel so that you can get the updates when there's more Groot Talks. Hit me on Twitter. Give me your house suggestions. I like it. I like house. I like funky house. I like disco house. Yes. I have Facebook, facebook.com/RyanGutierrez.la. Don't ask me why I don't have facebook.com/gootecks. I kind of do, but I kind of forgot. What other musical genres do I enjoy? Cashern, the guy. I like indie dance. I like electro pop. I used to like rock, but who listens to rock music anymore, you know? Try Sephiroth 007 Gootecks. I recently discovered my ex-girlfriend from high school is close friends with the girl I'm currently talking to. What do I do? You say, hey, baby, long time no see. Can you put in a good word for me with so-and-so? Or you say, hey, don't listen to anything that bitch tells you. Totally untrue. I was a different person in high school. Don't believe her lies. Oh. Well, guys, it may be time for us to call it quits for tonight. Oh, never mind, 15 minutes. I guess we got another 15 minutes. And then I gots to go. How right you are says, Gootecks, what are the odds of fighting games getting as big or bigger than SC2 or LOL? And what kind of fighting game would it have to be? These are the challenges and the issues that we've dealt with since day one. How can something as complicated as League of Legends or StarCraft be so much more popular? The answer is just because there's more people playing it. That's the only reason. You take a fighting game, a simple fighting game, like Street Fighter, 1-on-1, life bars, 2 of them, timers. They fight. One guy wins every round. Only one guy. And somehow this is not as popular as whatever the fuck is happening in League of Legends. Don't ask me. I mean, StarCraft. Okay, I'm not going to shit on StarCraft because I played StarCraft, so I understand what's going on. But to an outsider's perspective, what is going on? There's bugs and the spacemen and the tanks and what is going on? How can this be more fun to watch than Street Fighter? It's not. But there's more people playing it. What do? If you take the average person and you make them watch 15 minutes of StarCraft, 15 minutes of League of Legends, and 15 minutes of Street Fighter and ask them which one they like more, they're going to say, I like Street Fighter more. It was so easy. There was one winner, there was one loser. The game was short. But there's so much in the way of these things happening. The worst part, this is the worst part. People actually think, and I'll just preface this by saying that it's possible that these guys are right, but some people think that if fighting games were added to a league like IPL or MLG, that the audience that cares about StarCraft or League of Legends would somehow filter over to fighting games. And I just don't buy it, because the environment is not there. What we need is larger, more defined, more focused fighting game events that are focused on not the tournament. Hello, people. Nobody cares about who Triple H had to fight in order to get his title shot at The Rock. We don't see the tournament in the WWE. We just know that Triple H is going to fight The Rock because Triple H earned the title shot. I don't care about the tournament. I just want to see the last couple guys that this guy beat before he gets the title shot, because only number 2 can challenge number 1, right? So I don't believe that getting fighting games in the leagues will actually increase our viewership by a substantial amount. Of course, it will increase it by a certain amount. But is it going to do more than if we just had more events at bars or whatever venues where people could drink, kind of like bar fights, where people would come and drink and just get rowdy watching people fight on screen? That's what it's about. But unfortunately, I'm just one man. And what do I know? Jay Coltrane says, Las Vegas Insert Coins has the right idea. Kind of. Insert Coins is on the right track. I went there and I had a good time. It was fun. Cookie Noisette says, didn't Complexity say they wanted to make another bar fights on the executives? Yes. Maybe that's something we could do. But ultimately, I just don't know. Okay, let me ask you guys this. Who would you guys want to see at bar fights? Tell me. Go, your turn. Who would you want to see play each other? First to 5, first to 10, whatever, doesn't matter. Who do you guys want to see? Because I'll tell you who I want to see. I don't want to see anybody because I don't care. Street Fighter, Marvel, KOF, Persona, Champ versus Chris G, Champ versus Deus Ex, Gootecks versus Mike Ross, Gootecks versus Mike Ross, Champ versus Chris G, Mike versus Jago, Fanatiq versus Ray Ray, Champ versus anyone, Champ and Chris G, Infrit versus Champ, Yipes versus Champ, DJ Wheat versus Noah, Jago versus Combo Fiend, Combo versus anybody, Wong versus Daigo, Sako versus Punko, Infrit versus Champ, Yipe versus Champ, Champ versus Chris G, Daigo versus Wong, Champ versus the world, Wong versus Daigo, Infrit versus Fanatiq, Bala versus that Korean guy, Chris G versus Champ, Dominion versus Infiltration. Okay. Let's start with Champ. Who do you want to see Champ play? Just Champ, because Champ is somebody that would do it. Yipes, Dios, Yipes, Chris G, Justin. Okay, this is what I'm getting from you guys. Chris G, Champ versus Chris G, Champ versus Yipes. I would actually like to see either of those. Those would be great matches. Okay. Clearly, Chris G and Yipes are the best on the East Coast. Clearly, Champ is the best in the world, or at least on the West Coast right now. So, okay. All right. What do you think they should play for? Money? And where does this money come from? The belt. Which belt? Okay. All right. All right. Well, hey, look. do me a favor, guys. If you want to see this match happen, at reply at gootecks, at IFC Yipes, and at FChampRyan, and say hey. Oh, and at NYChrisG, and say hey. I want to see this match. Do that, and maybe we can set it up somewhere. And if Champ is the main event, then maybe it'll be easy to get Complexity to do it, to help cover the costs. And then maybe we can get Spooky out here to do it, because I love working with Spooky. Isn't it happening at Seasons Meetings? I don't know. Is it? You tell me. Oh, Champ vs. Christie already happening at Seasons Meetings? Perfect. Cross Counter will be there to cover it. So don't you worry. See, guys? Your wish is my command. Seasons Beatings is in Cleveland, Ohio, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. Oh man, I'm hungry all over again. I made some chicken earlier. You guys want to see how I barbecued chicken? It was pretty good. Oh, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. FYI, guys. At gootecks. Oh. Let's see. Let me scroll down. Will I go to Canada Cup? Yes, that's the plan. The plan is to go to Canada Cup. I love Canada. Canada Cup. All right. Look at this dish of chicken that I barbecued. Oh, wait. You guys can't really see it because it's too close. Oh, wait. Chicken. All right, guys. Well, oh, here's the Joker J wants to know, gootecks, will you ever have any guests on this talk show, or will you continue to solo? Chances are there won't be anybody on this show, because I find it a lot easier to just sit here and just talk about whatever I want without having to take into account how somebody else is feeling. And hey, I try to keep it real, right? Who keeps it realer? I can't think of anybody. So, anyways, maybe we'll do Good Talks tomorrow. Maybe Monday. Maybe. Who knows? Sunday is the day of rest, guys. So, I guess that's about it. Please follow Cross Counter TV on Twitch. Follow us on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter at gootecks. Feel free to @reply me and tell me what you want me to talk about next time. It is Saturday night. Thank you so much for spending some of your Saturday night with me. I had fun. I hope you had fun. Anyways, and also you can get cool stuff for cheap on Plunder, bit.ly/gootexplunder, PLNDR. Get some cool shit. I don't make any money. I just get free shit if you buy stuff. Ha! All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Please watch this commercial.